was actually the deck that we highlighted today up there. We had played this last week and it felt super sweet. I'm interested to see if it feels good again today. So Zoe is a champion that needs no introduction at this point. She makes herself super cool star charts while being a cheap, elusive threat. And these star charts let you invoke celestials that help level her up by helping you play lots of differently named cards. Heimer and Zoe actually have a lot of really good synergy together. So Zoe's star chart makes you turrets for Heimer is one thing, but then notably Heimer creates lots of differently named robots. So Heimer helps you basically turbo level Zoe by giving you these free differently named robots to help level her up. And then once Heimer levels Zoe for you, his robots provide a plethora of keywords for Zoe to distribute to your team to help end the game very quickly. The rest of this deck is a bit interactive with things like Mystic Shot and Aftershock that also double up as reach, being able to hit the opponent's Nexus when you're ready to pivot into that closing roll. And then we get to play key interaction like Hush, probably one of the best pieces of interaction / no-no in the format right now. And we also play a touch of ways to protect our key champions with things like Sunblessed Figure and Pale Cascade. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this one and see if it still feels good today. That's the other thing too, how while I like getting through a variety of decks each day, when I change decks throughout the course of the stream, usually drop viewers whenever you change decks. Sometimes they build back up, but there's a lot of people that are interested in just specific archetypes and they bail out when that archetype is done. Definitely mulliganing Star Shaping to start. It's a pretty slow card. Looks like Twisted, Go Hard. I think Flash of Brilliance with Heimer to get set up for turn 5 sounds good. Or patch notes tomorrow. No, the next the balance patch along with Aphelios' release is next week. So February the 3rd. Philosopher Jake, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. Maybe it's right to offer the trade with the goat proactively there so I can have the gem to loot with some treasure.
Time to get rich.
Perfect. Getting paid off for waiting a little bit, getting to trade with the 2/2 instead of the 2/1. And then our mana lines up pretty perfectly here with the Sum Treasure this turn. We'll go up to 4 mana next turn, which lets me play the Goat plus bank 2 into 3 spell mana. And then on 5, I can play Heimer plus Flash of Brilliance. And the way you see me planning out my turns and sequencing in advance is one of the big things that can help you get better at Runeterra. Runeterra, because of the way the spell mana system works, is you need to always be thinking a couple of turns ahead in terms of how is my turn 4 going to impact my turns 5, 6, and 7, etc. How is my resource usage this turn going to dictate how I can spend my resources later on? I'm opening on an attack here to hook their barrel because I don't want to play Goat and then have my Goat die to a deal 2 from a Go Hard with the keg.
For silver I thought, for gold I tasted.
And then Mystic Shot's actually a decent pickup here as well because it means after I Heimer Flash, I can play Mystic Shot as well that turn.
Let's get to it.
Opponent aggressively pressuring my life total, which is fine here. Because even though Pack the Bag Scowl costs 5 mana, my opponent does still have a sweeper effect in their deck. So I want to trade proactively as often as possible. Just taking as many early quick trades as I can. Morning, Beansy.
Progress waits for no one. And fire!
Pretty decent pickup here too.
Deal me in. Says I don't share.
By just 1.21 gigahexes.
1.21 gigahexes.
It's smaller than a diagram.
I'm gonna go ahead and open attacks here since they're technically under Ruination mana. Hello, youngest son. My office door is not a toy. You both need to play nicely outside of my office, please, Declan. Okay, then go upstairs to my room and watch your show in my room. Jacob Jeffrey, leave Declan alone. He doesn't want to play right now, okay? If they pass here, am I supposed to take the pass? There's a good possibility we are. I'm kind of surprised they pass a 6-mana. Brothers doing brother things. Yep. The biggest upside to having a large house in the cornfields is that when the children need to be separated, you can send them to separate floors. I think Spell Shield is definitely what we're in for here, right? Overwhelm's also good against their plethora of cheap units. That's my fat stomach. I love you too. Yeah, Aphelios Heimer seems fine. He generates you lots of spells. We have a Vile Feast here as well to potentially level Elise.
Gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, the True Shot Barrage actually looking pretty good here. Pick a card, sure. Okay, so Elise isn't leveling. I think we're True Shot Barraging next turn, huh? Just like kill, kill, kill.
From the darkness.
Especially with these other two star shapings in my hand, I don't think I play defensively here. I think we just take this hit.
So young.
3 damage, 2 damage, 1 damage. Dominoes in a row. The animation on this card is great too if you haven't seen it before. They have a way to murder Heimer here. They do not. And we get a 7-1. This bot is so bad. It levels Heimer, I guess. Any bot would have leveled Heimer there. I guess we're thermo beaming this, huh?
Unbreakable as thermal fancy conductive knowledge.
Is it too aggressive to beam this? I feel like it's not.
Didn't know the boss had said for me.
Don't know much, do ya?
And then I gotta decide, do I want to play... Why is Keg the better beam target?
Photon power to main laser!
Can you explain? I don't see it. Why do I care about the Keg? Killing a blocker seems much better.
Requires just 1.21 gigahexes.
They technically have Ruination mana here, but this has Spell Shield.
If I kill you, I don't fortune. Stupid.
I'm gonna offer throwing this away into here because it means they're not blocking anything else. I could be wrong to attack with Heimer here. Trading Heimer for this plus a drain isn't ideal. But I've got these rolled up here still too, so should be okay even if they take that line.
What's that you got there? This is outrage.
I love the design of Spell Shield bypassing board wipes. It gives so much more counterplay.
Best run while you can.
Oh, am I about to get whaled? This attack into whale is so bad. Yeah, I deserve this. Yeah, when they didn't block here, it meant they had whale. Yeah, this attack was terrible. I should have just attacked with the 7/7.
Unforeseen outcome.
With this in hand too, especially. That was loose on my part. Yeah, my hand's much better if it continues to make robots.
Let's do this.
I think I'd rather just have more overwhelm units, huh? Coco, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. This is number 2. Played one other Celestial. I think I just let this die to another deal 1 because I would like to save the Sunblessed Vigor to save this from Pack the Bags next turn since it's at 5 life. So they pick a carded, and they're gonna have Ruination mana here. I think that's fine though. Yeah, I think especially because they're drawing 4 cards next turn, I want to hold this to protect this from Pack. Yeah, and then hopefully this plus these will mean we'll have lethal this turn or next turn. These are my Celestial Beast. Isn't he amazing? Survey says if they have Ruination here, they can kill this one, and then they only get attacked for 8, 10, 13, 15. So Ruination means we don't quite have them dead. Vengeance could also do it. We are at almost 1,000. We didn't get a raid. We might have gotten an auto host. Auto hosts don't always pop up on the ticker for whatever reason. Someone on F2K likely signed off and gave us an auto host. Shout out to them. If there's anybody in chat coming over for another stream, welcome to the channel. Like Flaming Munchkin, howdy. If you're new, I stream full time here. We do a bunch of Runeterra and other card games, as well as single player story driven variety stuff. Playing some. This is Riot's digital card game based on the League of Legends IP. Legends of Runeterra. I love the KDA board. It's a lot of fun. And the little ticker here, if you haven't used this board before, changes what song you hear. It's so good.
Never lost a fair game. Never played one. Blue as the serpentine.
Can you post the link in chat, Philosopher Jake, of the page? Is it here? Is there an extras? Where's the extra button? Oh, it's at the very top. I don't know. Okay, I'll have to figure out where that link goes. Thank you. I thought I removed that link everywhere it existed. Yeah, it's linking to the old one. I changed the URL. They technically could still have pack my bags here, right?
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
No, not at all, Seth. They needed to print cards like a braid to make that would be like main deckable anti-artifact stuff. Morning Seer. What style of build did I go with? We played a combat focused character that also used signs. Our final build had seven combat things based around using the sword and cat skull gear, as well as using Ard and Quen. The runes I had on all of my things were focused around Ard and Quen.
I'll buy some time.
No, Witcher 3, for those that haven't played it, doesn't really have like a stealth combat option. It's all very much very direct combat. Well, that makes that decision easy. Stealth combat in Witcher means not leaving witnesses. There was going to be some complex decisions this turn, but send 8 to the dome is definitely the choice now. And again, exactly what we talked about during the deck tech, right? Like, these cards are control tools in our deck early to help keep us alive. When we make it to this stage of the late game where we pressured them a little bit, they allow us to pivot nicely. Even if I kill this is still going to give them enough to survive. It's unfortunate. Okay, so now I have to play this and hope not to get packed.
The skies.
I assume we're gonna get packed here. That's not getting me packed.
The hour is mine.
Be very quiet. We're hunting burblefish. Does the main part of Witcher 3 have a better story or Blood and Wine? I actually think I liked Blood and Wine better than the main part of Witcher 3, but they're both good. They're both fantastic is the answer. Okay, so this puts them to 1, which means they're dead to Mystic Shot.
I guess you can win them all.
I mean, not that we needed that, but we'll take it. Mumo, I don't know if I said thank you. If you're still here, thanks for the follow. Sweet. I'm glad this one feels sweet again. This one felt very reasonable last time we played it. Hopefully it continues to feel reasonable today. I think if this one has a decent set today, we're gonna end up throwing it up on the website. Thresh, I agree. Thresh is super underrated in emote tiers. I'm gonna mulligan everything here but Zoe, looking for our copies of Aftershock. Opponent is playing the Lucium, Hecker, and Plaza deck, and their deck tends to be very embarrassing if they can't keep Plaza on the table. So maximizing our ability to draw the card that kills Plaza here is ideal, although not quite enough to mulligan give up a turn 1 Zoe. Nailed it. Play in the strongest region. You must be new here. We in general don't subscribe to elitist tripe like this region stronger than this other region. This also isn't a tryhard stream, but you don't really have an objective metric to measure which region is stronger than the others, and the only reason to come and say something like that is because of elitist bullshit. So don't do that here.
Go down, will you?
I would like 1 silence, please. Be very quiet. We're hunting grizzled rangers. The single combat here? That's fine. I mean, normal OBS can integrated Twitch activity feed, Philosopher Jake. Streamlabs OBS is basically someone just took OBS and added a bunch of the custom stuff into it by default.
Oh, the sweet smell of science.
I mean, I don't think that's true. Well, so I think you're using region differently, Maka. The person I timed out talking about the strongest region was implying that people who play in EU are better than people that play in NA. Not region in the game. As in, like, color.
And fire!
Kinda wanna play... We can level Zoe this turn, right? Do I want to beam her? Do I need to beam her now? That's probably fine. Is it? If I do this, I get to play 2 more differently named cards.
Dimensions don't determine themselves. Sturdy construction. Yeah.
And then this bot will level Zoe. Again, seeing that really good Zoe Heimer synergy here, where she helps enable him and he helps enable her. Even this isn't really a big deal because they're all gonna have overwhelm.
Machine force wheel turns. Day becomes night. Time to be going.
That's kind of scary.
Ship time. How's it going?
If I stun him, is that lethal? No, it's not, right? They block here and they take -3 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Innovation must begin somewhere.
It's pretty unlikely that they can kill us on opens here, and then if they don't open, we get to trouble bubble this. The 6-mana spell does give us an elusive, you are correct. Am I looting away with this? Probably just thermo beam, right? Hey, Chris, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning.
Let's mess some folks up.
Accepted advancement in ballistics. Advancing collective knowledge.
Does the opponent play Ruination? No, not usually. And even if they had Ruination, they need like Ruination into Harrowing, right?
Sturdy construction.
They need to be able to sweep the board, and now they don't have mana for it. So it's pretty unlikely that they have that card. The toxic Canadian. I thought all Canadians were lovely. Thanks for the follow.
Your standards.
So 6 mana bot is elusive, so I'll get to drop this over this and give everything elusive. Yep. Yep.
Calculated.
Yeah, this deck's really good. It's been fun. It's always nice when we have I've seen complaints from people that they think the current format is kind of stale. And I really think a lot of it is people just don't want to put in the work to find other good new decks. It does, and to their defense, it does take a lot of energy and effort in order to find new things that can be competitive. But like, you gotta play a lot of duds to get through to some interesting things. Like we play, 2, 3, sometimes even 4 different Runeterra decks per day. Do we play Tom Lux today? We did not. I don't believe that's at the top of the queue. No, Kench Lux is 3 down in the queue past this. So, Kalista Elise would imply that they're playing They Who Endures. I think I actually want to take this street here. So we actually were having a discussion about this in the subscriber Discord server the other day, which if you're a supporter and you're not in the subscriber Discord server, you should pop in. I know there's a lot of people that run subs Discord servers or just the communities chat, but I'm very active in my subscriber Discord server. My wife and I both are actually pretty active in there. We want to be a part of the community that we've cultivated. But anywho, we were talking yesterday about how for starters, gamers will complain about anything, right? As someone who previously played Magic, in games like Magic, people frequently complain about power creep and about how cards are constantly invalidated by new cards that get printed. And in Runeterra, we've definitely seen kind of some inverse complaints of that, right? Like, Runeterra has done an excellent job from a design perspective where we get new cards that are competitive in the format, but they don't take the format and flip it on its head, right? So in Runeterra, instead of people complaining about power creep and things being overpowered, you get the it's stale complaints, right? And I think a part of it is you're just never going to satisfy everyone, right? I think, that being said, I think there's definitely a segment of card game players that actually like power creep and don't realize that they like power creep. They haven't put 2 and 2 together what they actually like about it. I think if they block here, I'm gonna Sunblessed Vigor to save this.
No.
It'll be interesting to me, and how that relates to Runeterra. It's gonna be interesting to me personally to see where Runeterra ends up in the long term in terms of power creep. Like, will Runeterra, because like, for me, and it's definitely subjective, right? For me personally, I love Runeterra's approach of the format does not flip on its head.
What's that noise?
Sorry. I love the fact that, like, decks that I built 8 months ago when I started playing are still competitive today, 8 months later, even though there's also new things in addition to that. Hey, Tiago, thank you for the 20 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Jan, thanks for the follow, by the way. So the person in chat that complained that I timed them out about making the obvious, they were obviously joking. What you are doing there is what I like to refer to as Schrodinger's asshole, which is that you make a comment that's rude, but in the event that someone calls calls you out on the fact that you made a rude comment. It's just a joke, bro. Don't take it so seriously. Why you so upset by my joke, bro? Don't you have a sense of humor? No. Your comment was rude, and I don't care if you intended it as a joke. It was rude to start with. Jokes are supposed to be funny is a great way to put it. Hey, Magic, thanks for the sub gift. I appreciate that. Huh? I kind of want to take Moonsilver here, actually, with the Progress Day in my hand.
Sturdy construction.
It's a little sad, but this is actually a second Heimer, so it's like not too big of a deal.
Unforeseen outcome. What seems to be the problem?
Well, and so something that's very common, Mark Rosewater is one of the lead designers on Magic and has been for a long time. And something he said at a conference one time that's really stuck with me is that game players are very good at identifying problems and articulating things that they don't like. They suck at finding solutions to things, though. So game designers can and should listen to feedback from players, but at the same time, you also shouldn't really expect the players to fix things for you, because on average, they're not going to be very good at it. So you should listen to player feedback when a player says they dislike something. You likely should take it with a grain of salt when they offer up their solutions, though. Huh? So this is gonna level. I think I'm Mystic Shotting this to save life. That means I don't have Mystic Shot to kill this, though, but I think that's fine. Nah, I don't really do speculative clickbaity stuff like that. I'm a big fan of waiting until we actually see the cards and then giving opinions on things that we can actually be informed about. So I haven't really posted like speculation on Shrumia stuff because who knows at this point. So she's at 7 differently named cards. 8 differently named cards. 9 differently named cards. So this levels Zoe. So this levels Zoe, and then making this card cost 6 lets Heimer create an elusive bot. In addition to wiping out their board. There is nothing wrong with taking off work on release days. Listen, your PTO isn't going to use itself. Enjoy it. I remember when I worked for a Fortune 50 company, there were people that had worked there for like decades that would complain about having to take time off because otherwise they were going to accrue PTO and just lose it. And I just be like, dudes, if I was you, I just wouldn't work for the next, I don't know, 100 Fridays. I would just have 4-day work weeks. So I have a short video here called How to LOR that explains the best way to build a collection, in my opinion, in addition to giving you the basics about the game. Are they dead? I didn't actually count. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Plus a little bit extra over here. Smells pretty dead to me. But remember, the format is stale and you can't brew, chat. They gonna atrocity something? Nope. Nope. I banked my PTO for the first time because of COVID, and I realized I just needed to take some for mental break. Yeah. Listen, as someone who's, my job requires me to be extroverted. I love talking with you all and being on stream, but when I'm not on stream, I tend to be, you know, dial it back and a bit more secluded. So like a lot of my, when Christy and I do vacation style stuff is usually just staying in. Big fan of staying in the house. Triple R, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I've done that a few times, taking every Friday off from September until the end of the year to burn my PTO. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. Even if you don't, if you're someone that has that, like just take every Friday off or break your work week up. Take a Wednesday or Thursday off. Staycations. Yeah, exactly. How would I leave my house? Yeah, I paid a lot of money for this house. Why would I go outside of it? Ash Sajani. Thermal Beam sounds great for interacting with their first threat. Keep Priestess as a turn 3 play. Heimer sounds a little bit slow. I'm gonna mulligan at least these two, looking for a Zoe. It's not terrible. Good turn 2 play here for us. Is responding to the hello emote with the Thresh emote too aggressive, chat? I need some opinions. I think it might be too aggressive. It's not aggressive. That's a good, I accept. It's not aggressive. Easiest pass of my life. Golden roll, would you want it done to you? That's a good. I don't know where I sit on the how would I feel about someone threshing me. Golden Sister sounds lovely. Just 2 large blockers. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I really don't care if this kills either of my things, right? So I think we're just passing. Looking at my emote loadout, I actually don't have a hello emote in here, which is probably a punt. I should probably retool this to have a hello emote. Maybe we give up Fizz or Riven. We have a something went wrong emote, a good game emote, and a sweating emote. These are required on all emote loadouts, and what you do past there can have some variety. That's true. Vlad's kind of flexible. Vlad does have some flexibility in what he's able to do.
Remember me. Show me a target. Believe or burn.
And I think if we get a freeze or a combat trick out of them on this exchange, that's a positive for us. So I'm going to take that. Hopefully we can finish her with Thermo Beam after the fact. Okay. And then this is great. I get to go Zoe into Beam Your Ash. Obviously, they could have an elixir, but if they don't, this is going to happen. I think we probably want to open on Golden Sister next turn to apply as much pressure as possible here. Try and end this game.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
I am a big fan of the Juice Box emote. There's so many good ones to pick from, chat.
bow to no one.
So Johnny's kind of punishing here. Alright, so Johnny means I'm gonna push less damage overall. Although I guess if I would have attacked with this, they probably would have chump blocked it, so it's probably a wash. This is at 0 out of 5 still. It's great for us.
Victory requires a sharp
We need more emote slots. Big mood. Can I pay Riot for more emote slots?
daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Just in for more sisters.
Ride onward.
You're mine.
Huh?
Back, heretic.
I think I need the bench space with the second sisters in hand, right? Might as well gain 2 with it. My wife and I got COVID last August. My wife got pretty sick, was hospitalized for 3 days. Before Christmas, she took a blood test to find out how many antibodies I had, and our surprise, she had none. So she had antibodies less than 5 months, which is not good news for anyone. Yep. I've heard there's been a number of studied examples of reinfection after the fact. Which is why a vaccine, so much for all those awful herd immunity thoughts.
What once was 2 now is 1.
Zoe is not anywhere near leveling here.
Our strength is yours.
Danger Noodle is great because it lets me kill their challenger here.
The small must know when to fight.
So I agree with you that a lot of the default Runeterra emotes are good. As a something of a large sea creature, though, I make an explicit point not to use the free emotes. Those are for plebs, chat. What do you want me to do? You want me to lie down and use the pleb emotes? Rather, my fellow large sea creatures in Hoaglandia know what I'm talking about. Got some whales there. So I gemmed these so they could attack into their 5/5s, he says, before getting troll chanted. Wow, this exchange works out beautifully for us. Okay, yeah, the fact that both of these are dying is huge here. I know someone that had COVID confirmed in February, March, and then got confirmed again in November. Yeah. Especially with the second strain that came out of the UK. Be safe out there, chat. Wear a mask and distance.
The War Mother will unite us all.
We're getting close to leveling here. Let's battle this. Yeah, I can level her in response.
Wheel turns. Day becomes night. Time to be colors.
Seems like a pretty decent exchange for us overall. Currently undergoing my 14-day government quarantine entering Taiwan. There's a reason why countries like Taiwan, NZ, and Australia have got this pandemic spot on. You cut the virus off and no one gets it. That is correct. The problem with that is America is the country of personal liberties, where you can't take away people's freedoms in order for the greater good. People want Americans want all of the benefits of living in a society without any of the actual commitment and effort, is what it comes down to.
Joke to me.
Yeah, the transform card is sweet, especially in instances like that one we just had there.
All the world on one arrow.
We had lethal there with Pale and Mystic Shot. Yeah, against the Frostbite deck. I think going for Hearthstone lethal there is super wrong in this matchup.
Swiftly now. As the arrow flies. I'll lead us to victory.
Yeah, so while the criticism that some of the places that are doing best are islands is definitely true, all you have to do to know that the US has failed in its COVID response is look at Canada. They're literally just to the north of us. And if you look at the number of deaths per capita in Canada and compare it to the number of deaths per capita in the United States, it's a stark and sad difference. Hearthstone lethal. In Hearthstone, you can't respond to your opponent's plays, so Hearthstone lethal means you kill your opponent if they don't have any responses.
These stories were true.
Means if the opponent has no counterplay, they're dead. Hey, Kane was framed. Thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sure, I'm not, and it's also important to say I didn't say Canada got it perfect either, Grand Fred. I'm just saying if you want to make a good faith comparison, I think it's not unreasonable to say the US couldn't have had the same response as an island, but it is fair to say the US could have done at least what Canada did. I'm actually not 100% familiar with all of the things Canada did in terms of what they implemented. I do know stats to stats per capita, deaths and hospitalizations and all of that. They're just night and day compared to the United States. Had a friend go to visit family in Canada. She had to stay in a house for 2 weeks, and the Fed came for random check-ins to make sure she was there. Yep. So Beam and Zoe are great here. Opponents playing Spider, Burn. Honestly, I think Priestess is probably good here too, because this can generate Sisters, which is a good way to gain life. Hello, oldest son.
Lego game we got at Christmas.
You want to play the Lego game we got at Christmas? Sure, you can do that. Oh, you might need help for that one. Lego games can be a little bit tough. So I want to thermo beam something here. The question is what? I think it's probably just the Fearsome. And then honestly, I think for the sake of just staying alive as much as possible here, I think I'm actually trading the Zoe off aggressively here. South Korea quarantines people and gives them food during that duration. We couldn't have that in America. That sounds too much like socialism. And by that, I mean anything that's helpful to people other than corporations is socialism.
I pull the strings.
Yeah, we had a ton of sub gifts from the around Christmas fall off. Who knocks? Erk. thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. For people that are new like Burke, we don't miss an opportunity to talk about late stage capitalism and poke fun of it here. Merkamasta, thanks for the follow. So I think we're just aftershocking Elise here. To be fair, the number underneath me is slowly closing in on my concurrent subscribers, which are also below 1,500 now. So, and those are gonna fall off again here a little bit too. There were a bunch of gifts on Christmas Eve. They kill my thing with fervor. We're at 13 here. Really hoping that this can spike a sisters for next turn. Okay, Golden Sisters, best possible hit there for sure. Gives us a lifesteal unit here. What's the Golden Sisters? Just gonna beam this. That way they have worse open attacks. Yep. So we're down to 10 here. This can chump block here. The fact that they've used 2 Noxian Fervors mean that that's one of their best way to interact with Golden Sister though as well. So there's a pretty good chance that once this gets down, it's going to get to gain us at least 4, possibly 8. So they didn't open attacks here. So with no open attacks, Jacob, if you want to run around and make noise, but I need you to go out in the basement, please, okay? All right, that's the 3rd Noxian Fervor. So we're going to take 2 here in combat. Okay, so we're dead to decimate. We're dead to decimate no matter how I slice this, right? We're dead to decimate and we're dead to fervor, because even if I aftershock this, I'm still taking 2. So I think the play here is actually... They played 2 fervors, right? Did they play 3? 1, 2... Oh, they did play all of them. Okay, you're right. I think I just pass here. And we chump block this and take 4. Because banking spell mana means I can double Pale Cascade this next turn. So if we don't die to their draw, we get to gain 8. And then if we gain 8, we should be able to win this game. We're dead to decimate. Why are you saying that? Blocking, taking this line means I'm dead to unspeakable horrors. Oh.
My light shines.
Okay, so we're going to 8 basically with this. I should technically wait to play those Pale Cascades, but I don't think it matters. My opponent concurs. My opponent concurs that the game 8 is good. Big move. Gaining 8 is good against the aggro deck. Weird. Yeah, I think that's the position ourselves to gain those there. Jacob, it is not safe to stand on my chair, bud. I love you. Please go watch the show or play with the toy or the Switch. We will play the new Lego game this evening after I'm done working, okay? I promise. I promise. Alright, so how aggressively do I want to mulligan for Aftershock? Pretty aggressively. We will play tonight after dinner, okay? Okay.
No, he's just your mind troubling over what it doesn't understand, silly! Let's do it over there!
You're the most problem against scouts. I could see that. I could see this matchup being bad. A lot of our removal is damage based. And their units tend to be fairly large in size. And we have unfortunately not drawn any of our Aftershocks here.
I need more hands.
Okay, so I think I want to just sump here. What am I binning? I think it's just Star Chart for now. I'm pretty sure I'm okay trading off aggressively here. Is it just me, or Lego games usually much better than they seem like they should be? Yeah, I don't think the Lego IP gets enough credit. If you're someone who has small children and wants a co-op game to play with your kids, I cannot recommend them enough. My younger son and I have played through, I don't know, probably half a dozen of them at this point. They're really, really well done.
Hey, what's that?
Am I saving Zoe? She's only seen two differently named cards. I think I'd rather save the goat and then play a second Zoe. I think my number one pick for Lego game would be Lego DC Villains, followed closely by The Incredibles. And the Harry Potter game is good. The Lego Harry Potter game is fine. I think I'd rank it under those other two that I just listed, but I've played through that one as well, and it's fine.
Fortune favors the bold.
The ocean is no place for the weak.
How would I have saved the Zoe? Oh, you're right. I couldn't have saved it, right? Because it would have only been, I was flipping it around. You're right, that wasn't an option. So my play was great, because saving it wasn't an option. Okay, so I think we gem this so it can block here, and then we play Heimer out.
Evidently logical. Less is motion.
This is the part where we get Rangers resolved or sharp-sighted. Wow, let's just trade it. Deal.
Ocean mana.
There's plenty of Kenneth left.
Hey, see there? Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back.
Follow the horizon.
That is a lot of pressure. Well, if they tried to use Riposte to save her, hopefully that means they don't have another trick here. Because I feel like they'd use any other trick first. I guess they could have another trick if they were planning to rally this turn. Yeah, I would bet that they have rally in their hand based on that play. So this can't block anyways because of misfortune, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack. I'm gonna have 7 mana total next turn, so I can Hush plus Star Shaping. If they don't open attacks, we're gonna Hush this so it doesn't get triggers or level up. We could see them open here though.
Shield is yours. It's smaller than a diagram.
Time to get rich.
Are we stabilizing? I think we're stabilizing. Certainly feels like it. Yeah, unchecked Heimer is still really, really good. Oh, I'd already played a gem. Awkward. Nice. Sick.
That was super fun, and I gotta say,
Oh no, chat. We're gaining LP. We're not supposed to have ladder points. The rank floor is our home. There's been some terrible mix-up, and we've acquired ladder points, chat. You prefer Zoe Heimer or Zoe Victor? They're two very different decks, Captain Command. So Zoe Victor is an aggro deck. Zoe Heimer is a control deck. Lee Sin's coming to fix that. Yeah, probably. We are a Masters gamer here. And for reference, for anybody that's new to the stream, pretty much all the decks I play here are viewer submissions, and I climb to Masters using just decks that my viewers sent me. So. I am hoping that Riot will ask me back to commentate the seasonal tournament again, as opposed to worrying about qualifying for it. Yeah, we just got there organically. I haven't been playing much off stream these days. Enema, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
oh boy, here I go.
Isn't this deck actually bad? I think this deck's great. This is our second time playing it on stream. It felt very cohesive and reasonable last time we played it. It's got a decent interactive cards. It's able to turn the corner quickly.
That I am superior life form. Prime and ready.
I have a 100% win rate with this deck. Or pretty close to that today.
Can you improve perfection?
I mean, that's how you gain ladder points, is you just have absurd win rates. Go streak in. Hey, Ranger, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. Help. I will refresh Discord right now so you can get back in right away. Server settings, integrations, Twitch, Jeff Hoagland, sync. Is Sump Dredger better than Sunforger in this deck? Well, those cards do two very different things. So Sunforger is a card that's a good anti-aggro card that's also a little bit more expensive than Sump Dredger, whereas Sump Dredger helps smooth out our draws and help us find the cards we want to find consistently. So I think from the perspective of what do these cards do, it's not really a very good comparison. I think the card selection from Sump Dredger is very valuable. I also think with stuff like star shaping, I don't really feel the need for... What's the word I'm searching for? I don't really feel the need for... With star shaping, I don't really feel the need for extra healing. No, you'll need to open your Discord settings, ATL Ranger, and look for integrations again. I'm only playing one actual copy of Progress Day. My curve's pretty low overall. So again, getting to bank a spell mana here, so we get to go Heimer into Flash on 5.
Safety disengaged.
Order, entropy, a never-ending cycle.
Do 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 do. Do. I'm gonna kill Heimer here. Dang it, Bobby. Well, poop.
Added to the bug list.
This is the one risk of playing Flash with Target. Is you occasionally generate this card. That's fine. We got a 3-1 fearsome. We paid 0 mana for a 3-1 fearsome. That's a good rate. That's true. In theory, this lets us play it. It's actually accurate. Well, I'm really surprised they took that trade while they're at 20. They don't open attacks here. We're gonna aftershock this. Yeah, and like some treasure, like we were talking about some earlier, some treasure helps with things like Flash creating cards you don't always want to play. Is a real thing. How many more Burblefish do you have? Trading 4 mana for your 0 mana plays is not a great scene. Yeah. Yeah, the opponent's archetype is another new one too. That's also very reasonable. Like, that's lots of burbly fish. I don't think I can afford to use Zoe as a gain 4 here. I guess she's not really doing a whole lot else. The most recent on the PlayStation text is. Yikes.
Stop me.
It's a great draw. Think we're dead to that?
No way.
I guess we get to kill this and then gain 5. And maybe this finds us a big elusive monster that can gum the board up a little bit. But two of these cards are random, or 3 of them are random 1-cost cards from Wiggly Fish. So maybe their hand's a little bit low quality right now. I've not been. It's my first time touching the IP. I'm told playing the others isn't a requirement for this one. And then pick a card there. Lets them turn their mediocre cards from Burblefish into potentially real cards. Which is strong. Well, we basically have 1 play this turn. It's gain 5.
Time for a true display of skill. That's gotta hurt.
I can technically hush this as real. I think cutting Aftershock's a big mistake. I think playing copies of Bastion's probably fine. I think cutting Aftershock to do it is bad. I'd probably cut Static Shock before I cut Aftershock. Static's only okay. That's true. We can technically Sky's Descent next turn. Iterative improvement's so good. Hate the idea of Bastion. Can even see getting rid of Vigor. Hey, thanks for the Prime Reclaimer. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I kind of like my one of Progress Day. Let's trim a Vigor and a Static and try a couple of Bastions. I agree. This card sounds lovely with Heimer. It's also fine with Zoe. This deck's been super popular today. Zoe early sounds great. Priestess sounds good. Golem Sisters is good in this matchup. These are a little bit slow. Spell Shield does not stop your opponent's iterative improvements. I actually don't know. What's the exact text on iterative improvement? I disagree with that assessment, Natterjack. I think Static Shots has plenty of spots where it's like just fine. It's pick a follower. So it technically isn't targeting or whatever. Goat was a perfect draw.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now. Prime and ready.
Easy open attacks here. One of Sunblessed Figure. Sunblessed Figure's like, Jeff, I know you cut me, but I can pull my weight. Put me in, coach. Put me in. See Bastion do that, chat.
Fire till nothing moves. Safety disengaged.
Keep up, keep up.
Be very quiet.
Through the core.
We're hunting Zaps. So I think the plan next turn is to Priestess into Goat, and then if this rolls a Sisters, we can play Sisters on their next turn.
Safety disengaged.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
That I am superior life form.
So they can Ignition here and then trade with these if they'd like. Then they're still taking 4.
Where do you stand on cold shots?
Alright, so I don't really want to trade this into here, but I'll attack with these two because if we generate some gems, we can heal this up so it no longer trades with this.
So
Huh, that's a Heimer. I think I still just want to get sisters down here.
Blue as the serpentine.
We can play Heimer with Flash and Bastion up. He probably takes over. And sisters. Sisters will eat up some of their resources here.
Star will roam the skies.
Also get our life total back up to a comfortable 20.
Safety disengaged. Fire till nothing moves.
We're just opening on attacks with these two. Book date. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon.
A game. Go on then.
Watch the ball, folks.
Okay, so this is going to 3 out of 8.
System upgrade.
I think I'm pretty okay treating these here.
The hour is mine.
I guess I could even, especially with the second Bastion drawn, if they want to block here, I could Bastion this to keep it alive. I kind of don't hate that. What punishes us for that? They need like double spell to cut through because this is going to have spell shield. I think I do that, and then we just bank Spell Mana this turn into Heimer with Flash, Bastion, Hush for next turn. Because if I bank 3 Spell Mana here, we'll have 11 mana next turn, which means I can do this for free, and then still have mana for both of these, plus play bots out. They have a pick a card. That's pretty scary. Which is also kind of scary. So now pick a card lets them level Twisted Fate next turn. Level Twisted Fate is pretty good against Heimer. I think that's fine. We're gonna need the bench space for our bots here anyways in a minute. Please pass. Gosh, even salvage gets them there next turn. Or another rummage. Whenever Burmwellfish generates a real card, it feels kind of absurd. Say 9 spells played. -9. Shoot. They're so lucky we don't have anything. Just like had a beam or a mystic shot here, we get to murder their Twisted Fate before it did anything.
Now this game's heating up.
Okay, so Priestess could hit Shower or Comet to kill this. The problem is they likely have another one. If this hits Meteor Shower, though, it fixes this problem and this problem.
I thought you'd never ask.
Blue as the serpentine.
Sunlight
Okay.
guide you, my brethren.
Baby steps. They have Hush plus a block to kill this inside of combat.
Go with the flow.
Who says I don't share?
Maybe they have a quick speed spell in response here. They get to gold card this. Faster burst. Hey, Boda, thank you for the 31 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't know that we come back from this. Heimer's good, but he's not quite that good.
On the run.
They at least don't have mana to play Mystic Shot here. They're gonna crack us for 7 with elusives. Maybe we'll be lucky and they have fleeting cards up here still that are gonna go away.
It's not bragging if you could back it up.
You Hush to kill Bashir? I don't think so. I think I need the Hush to kill Ezreal down the line. I can see that being right though. Saves me 4 points of life. In my mind, this is reserved for killing Ezreal, but you could be correct. I just don't have that luxury to wait. Okay.
The sweet smell of silence.
Yeah, all the holiday gifts fell off, Eric Jared.
Only fools play the hand they're dealt.
Damn it! Alright. This matchup does not seem good. Are we on 3 copies of Mystic Shot? To be fair, I don't know if it's fair to say that this matchup's bad so much as it's bad when they have Twisted Fate unchecked, which is probably realistic. Do we have... Yeah, we're on 3 Mystic Shot and 2 Beam and 3 Aftershock. Maybe I want to trade in this last Static Shock for another way to kill. Another way to kill Twisted Fate is probably a reasonable direction to go. I feel like if we can keep him off the table, their deck doesn't accomplish a whole lot of the time. He was the thing that put that game away for sure. I'm gonna go up another Beam here. It's a pretty flexible answer. Can we get Skies to send a 3rd time? Asking the real questions. We have nine decent ways to take the old Twisted Fate off the table. Skeda, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. A lot of the times we want to be playing out our gems that we're collecting, Strivas. Like they have value in healing our stuff, so I don't really feel like I have enough things to consistently give me discard fodder to want to play more cards that discard things. Scale of 1 to dead, where's this goat at? Dead side of the scale, got it. Technically gained tempo on that exchange. They traded 3 mana for our 2.
Yeah, you just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly.
The party has arrived.
Alright, Zoe got to draw a card. Mission accomplished. Everybody wrap it up. We can go home happy. Zoe drew a card. The deck full of removal spells. Zoe has drawn a card. That's all you could really ask for. No blocks. Go to 17.
No ways to find me mushrooms.
No blocks. Go to 16.
What seems to be the problem?
Deal 3. Don't mind if it does. Crescent Strike actually sounds great here to buy some time. Zoe's at 5. Zoe's at 6.
1 gigahertz.
Zoe's at 7, 8, 9.
Or you miss me.
It's Draven time.
Again!
Axes coming right up. Time for the moneymakers.
Can you see them level this? Chat! Chat, moments before the accident.
Beautiful face.
Sturdy construction. Yeah. Times of crisis and aspect descends to herald the reshaping of worlds.
Only holiday worth celebrating.
The only holiday worth celebrating.
Rise, my creature.
Alright, we don't have good attacks this turn, but we're in a great spot, right? Like we're even in a position that we can beat a Captain Pharaon from here. Thermo for 0 to get challengers. That was the big brain play. I want to get another 8-8 though instead. 9-9? No, it's a 9-9, right? Calculated. Sweet. I liked him on a high note. That feels like a pretty high note. Yeah, I like this deck a lot, actually. This feels like a really great mix of both, like, enough interaction to, like, make me feel smart, but also really good pivoting and killing them in the late game. And, like, Heimer and Zoe together just have such excellent synergy together. Let's talk about some things that I'm sure and not so sure on. So, Last time we played this deck, instead of playing Goat, we played the Daybreak 3-2, and Goat was definitely much better. The gems work well with some treasure. There are extra different card names for Zoe. That felt good. I think getting up to 3 Mystic Shot, 3 Thermo Beam, 3 Aftershock is correct. I think I'd consider all of these uncuttable, especially with the Twisted Fate decks that are in the format still. Having 9 ways to kill Twisted Fate feels pretty important. Things I'm not so sure on, the mixture of Vigors and Bastions in terms of what's ideal for protecting my threats, not 100% on. I feel like this was an oversight on my part to begin with. I would bet this card's probably pretty good in here. We didn't play a ton of games with it, but like the Heimer and Zoe are just such must-answer threats that having a burst speed card like this that randomly lets you win combats but also protects you from pieces of removal seems really, really powerful in this shell. That being said, Sunblast Vigor has also been reasonable, so I could see trying to trim around the edges to fit in another Vigor. Someone earlier mentioned they cut the progress day from the top end, and I think that's wrong. So one of the things that you want to think about when building decks is don't think about this progress day as a one of progress day. Think about star shaping in progress day here at the top end of our curve as 4 pieces of go big in the late game. So rather than this being a quirky one of, it's kind of a package with star shaping that I want 10% of my deck to be these big card advantage spells for when I make it to the late game. Yeah, and like in a way, Heimer gives us more progress days as well, right? So even if you don't want to think about it grouping with star shaping, it's also kind of just like more progress days. Because like we saw in that last game, getting to generate 8H with Heimer is often very good. It's honestly one of our best tools for beating Captain Pharaon with this deck is Progress Day alongside with that. That and Thermo Beam are ways that we deal with that. At any rate, if you're looking for an off-meta control deck, I think this is a great choice. I think I'm going to add this up to my website later today. I had a highlight video of this, my highlights YouTube channel this morning, and we played it again today, and it felt good, so I think I'm confident recommending this one up on my website. Poggers Day is a lovely one. All right, gosh, we're at 700 people in here still. I feel like we should do another Runeterra deck. I believe in striking while the iron is hot, so let's